Hey everyone, it's Franco, your business vlogger here. Today we're going to go over Forever 21 and why it will most likely get bought by a group of property companies that own a lot of mall space. So a few days ago, I was actually at an event and I was discussing Forever 21 with another person. And this person brought up the reasoning why these property companies wanted to be able to purchase Forever 21 and prevent it from going bankrupt and closing up all its stores. But before we go into that, I wanted to really talk about just the malls really quick and how malls are slowly dying out. At the end of the day, a lot more people are buying stuff online, and many competitors for these apparel brands don't even have a brick and mortar presence. Think about Amazon, right? You may have bought something on Amazon in the last week or two. They're competing against Forever 21. If you think about Gymshark, which is one of my favorite brands right now for fitness apparel, they don't have a brick and mortar presence that I know of in the US. They only sell online. So when it comes to these types of business models where these companies do not have a brick and mortar presence, they could be more competitive in many different aspects, including pricing, because they don't have to pay that rental cost. They don't have that fixed cost that they need to keep in mind, that if they don't pay, they will be pushed out. Now, thinking about this, it obviously makes sense for Simon Property Group and the other company, which is called Brookfield Property Partners, to make a bid for Forever 21 and prevent it from closing up all its stores. After all, according to one of the reports that I read, Forever 21 has a presence in about 100 Simon Property Group locations, which means that if it were to go bankrupt and just close up completely, that would mean that there are 100 less stores in Simon Property Group assets. Now, one very important thing to keep in mind is that Forever 21 stores are anchor stores, which means that people generally flock to a mall to go check out Forever 21. And closing out all of these Forever 21 stores could mean that the normal smaller tenants that would be in the area of Forever 21 may see a reduction in foot traffic that will end up at their store. So for example, let's say you normally go to Forever 21, chances are you have to walk through a few smaller stores to be able to get to that location. And that is what these smaller tenants like, because as people are walking through, they may see something that catches their attention and they'll walk in. Now, what ends up happening when these anchor stores close is that there are fewer people that are going to go to the mall because the store that they know and love isn't there anymore. Now, this can affect tenants in a big way. If there are fewer people walking through a mall, that means that it's going to be a lot more difficult for them to be able to sell their products or services. And as a result, if they can't sell at the normal levels that they've been able to sell, they may find it much more difficult to be able to pay their rent. And this can affect Simon Property Group, for example, because if the smaller tenants are not able to pay their rent, essentially they may not renew their leases, or they may go out of business, which means that these malls are going to get even more empty. And Simon Property Group has a big relationship with Forever 21, and the reason being is that Forever 21 has a presence in 100 Simon Property Group locations. This means that if Forever 21 closes down completely, there's going to be a lot less foot traffic going into those malls that Simon Property Group owns. So as a result of all this, there's already one property group, the one that Simon Property Group is involved in, that is interested in making a bid for Forever 21 in the amount right now of $81 million. Now, there are going to be potentially other companies that might be interested, but if this ends up going through, it may be a sigh of relief for Simon Property Group for a bit, and hopefully it does help them prevent the exodus of traffic from their stores. But at the end of the day, we don't know what's going to happen. Now, I do think that Simon Property Group needs to definitely focus on being able to do something completely different. That way their investment doesn't turn sour. Because right now, after all, they're making an investment in a company. They're putting money into that company to keep it afloat. And they have to change it around. They need to make it self-sufficient so that they're not putting more money into the company and it ends up being profitable. However, I think that this is a temporary band-aid. I don't think that this is going to solve all of their problems down the road, because at the end of the day, e-commerce is still growing in popularity and companies are very competitive at it. And I think that if they want to be able to keep that foot traffic coming in, they need to do something completely different to improve the user experience and give people a reason to show up in person at the store, as opposed to ordering online, where now you're able to order anything at a relatively low shipping cost or at no fee. This is by all means possible. A few years ago, people didn't know if Best Buy was going to survive, but they did take some drastic steps to be able to improve their customer service and improve really the type of company that they were. On one end, they introduced price match so that people who are going to the store wouldn't then go on Amazon to purchase something, right? They would be able to provide a price match right then and there so that they can make that purchase and that sale right then and there with the customer. Additionally, Best Buy also ended up introducing these little kiosks where these brands like Samsung, Google would be able to set up shop and provide much more personalized and specialized service. To recap, Simon Property Group and its partners are interested in Forever 21 because acquiring Forever 21 might just save them from potential headaches down the road. But we don't know, it's way too soon. Purchasing the company itself might be a headache that may stick with them forever if they're not able to turn around and make it self-sufficient. So we'll just have to wait and see. So that's it for this video. If you liked it, make sure to give it a like and to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more business related content. Again, my name is Franco Aquino, your business vlogger, and I'm out.